The 1960s wasn't just the decade of Bond, Beatles, and blockbusters, it was the era when cinema truly grew up. Beneath the glamour and the big studio hits, filmmakers around the world were redefining what movies could be. They challenged storytelling, morality, and emotion, creating films that confused audiences then, but inspire filmmakers now. Today, we're diving into 10 forgotten masterpieces that shaped the language of modern cinema quietly, boldly, and forever. Blow Up, 1966. Michelangelo Antonioni's Blow Up isn't just a movie, it's an experience. A London fashion photographer thinks he's captured a murder by accident, but the more he looks, the less he knows. It's stylish, alienating, and absolutely hypnotic. Audiences expecting a mystery got something far stranger, a study of perception, obsession, and meaning itself. It was controversial, puzzling, and revolutionary. A film that said truth is whatever the camera sees, or doesn't. Faces, 1968. John Cassavetes. Faces stripped cinema of polish and pretense. Shot in stark black and white, it captures a marriage falling apart in real time. There's no music, no gloss, just raw emotion. Cassavetes' improvisational style made audiences uncomfortable. It felt too real. But critics hailed it as a breakthrough. The moment American indie cinema truly began. It's not an easy watch, but it's unforgettable. A mirror held up to our most painful human moments. The Servant, 1963. Joseph Lucy's The Servant is psychological warfare behind closed doors. A wealthy young man hires a butler. But soon their roles start to shift. Power, class, and control blur until you can't tell who's serving whom. With razor-sharp dialogue by Harold Pinter and chilling performances by Dirk Bogarde and James Fox, this British classic turns social hierarchy into a mind game. Elegant, eerie, and way ahead of its time. The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, 1968. Before indie drama was a genre, there was The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. Alan Arkin stars as a deaf man reaching out to a world that refuses to listen. It's tender, tragic, and deeply human. Released during the height of social unrest, the film's quiet empathy went unnoticed. But today it stands as one of the most compassionate American films ever made. A story about isolation and the desperate need for connection. Blast of Silence, 1961. A forgotten noir masterpiece. Blast of Silence follows a hitman wandering through a cold New York Christmas, haunted by his own conscience. Shot guerrilla style on real streets, it's gritty, poetic, and fatalistic. The film's voiceover, part jazz, part doom, makes it feel like a crime novel come to life. It bombed on release, but later became a cult gem. The missing link between classic noir and Scorsese's realism. Targets, 1968. Peter Bogdanovich's Targets is one of the most chilling debuts in cinema. Two stories intertwine, one about an aging horror actor, the other about a young man on a shooting spree. It's a terrifying reflection of American violence and media obsession, way too real for 1968. Made for pennies and filmed in just weeks, it's still one of the most daring commentaries on horror and humanity ever made. The Incident, 1967. Late at night, two thugs board a New York subway car and turn it into a cage. The incident traps a group of ordinary people and slowly strips away their civility. It's claustrophobic, tense, and utterly gripping. This isn't action, it's psychological assault. A film that asks, what would you do when terror rides beside you? One of the most underrated thrillers of the decade, raw, relentless, and real. Failsafe, 1964. Released the same year as Dr. Strangelove, Sidney Lumet's Failsafe was doomed to be overlooked. But it's arguably even scarier. A simple computer glitch sends American bombers toward Moscow, and the president must choose between justice and annihilation. Shot in stark black and white, it's pure tension. No jokes, no escape. It's a nightmare of technology and morality, and it still feels disturbingly modern. Mickey 1, 1965. Arthur Penn's Mickey 1 is surreal, jazzy, and haunting. Warren Beatty plays a comedian on the run from the mob, or maybe from himself. It's Kafka meets French New Wave, wrapped in paranoia and performance. Audiences in 1965 had no idea what to make of it. But today, it's a daring experiment in identity, guilt, and existential fear. A masterpiece disguised as madness. 10 the Face of Another, 1966. From Japanese master Hiroshi Teshigahara comes one of the most profound sci-fi dramas ever made. A man disfigured in an accident gets a lifelike mask and slowly loses his soul beneath it. Philosophical, haunting, and visually stunning, The Face of Another explores what makes us human, our face or our heart. A poetic, unsettling meditation that feels even more relevant in today's age of artificial identity. These weren't the box office hits of their time. They were the quiet revolutions, the ones that rewired how we see stories, people, and truth. Forgotten by the masses, worshipped by filmmakers, and waiting to be rediscovered. So, which one will you watch first? And if you love uncovering rare classics and exploring the history behind cinema's most overlooked masterpieces, make sure to subscribe to Frame Time, where every frame has a story and every story deserves its time.